I mean, incredible. Simply incredible. Be so easy to
helped our defense improve a lot. So I think offensively and defensively, we've taken a step forward, and that's kind of what the coaches challenged us.
It began as nothing more than quiet speculation. Small whispers passed between scouts and front office executives as the Indiana Fever's season rolled into its most crucial stretch. Lexi Hull's name, a name once considered untouchable, was suddenly being mentioned in trade talks. There was no scandal, no visible fallout, no locker room tension, at least not publicly. It was simply business, or so everyone thought. The Fever wanted more scoring from the perimeter, and while Hull's defense was praised across the league, her shooting numbers hadn't kept pace with her hustle. A simple adjustment, that's all it was meant to be. But in the WNBA, nothing involving Caitlyn Clark is ever simple anymore. Behind closed doors, a deal began forming, a routine depth-for-depth exchange, rumored to involve either Phoenix or Dallas. Draft picks and role players, the kind of trade that rarely trends or makes headlines. Yet before any details could solidify, everything went silent. Phones that were buzzing with negotiations stopped ringing. Executives refused to comment. Reporters who caught wind of the discussions found their sources suddenly unavailable. Overnight, the entire trade evaporated, and with it came one burning question: who shut it down? The answer, insiders would later claim, pointed straight toward Caitlyn Clark's inner circle, her management, her brand team, her ecosystem of influence. Because in today's WNBA, Clark isn't just a player. She's a movement. And movements have power. By the midpoint of the season, the Fever were juggling chaos, injuries, lineup experiments, and the immense pressure of building around a generational rookie who was redefining what it meant to be a women's basketball superstar. Lexi Hull, meanwhile, was doing her job. No complaints, no drama, just effort. But her minutes dipped as coach Stephanie White tested rotations. And as always happens in professional sports, that's when the whispers began. Every contender wants a Lexi Hull, one assistant coach from another team said privately. She's solid, she's smart, and she doesn't bring problems. The Fever, reportedly, were listening, until suddenly, they weren't. Within 24 hours, those conversations were dead. It wasn't because the trade fell apart financially or because another team backed out. It was because something higher up the chain intervened. Caitlyn Clark's camp, according to multiple insiders, voiced concern. To understand how a rookie's management could freeze a front office decision, you have to understand the scale of the Caitlyn Clark machine. She isn't just an athlete, she's a global brand. Her management firm, XL Sports, coordinates with some of the most influential corporations on earth: Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, Wilson, HYV, each one heavily invested in her image and trajectory. She has PR professionals monitoring her media coverage in real time, strategists analyzing engagement spikes, consultants crafting her every post-game quote. It's an empire that extends far beyond basketball. So when news of Lexi Hull's potential departure reached Clark's network, it wasn't viewed as a tactical adjustment, it was seen as a branding problem. Hull wasn't just another player, she was part of the narrative, one of the few teammates who matched Clark's public persona: humble, hardworking, relatable. Together, they projected authenticity, the kind that sells jerseys and fills arenas. Their chemistry was the kind of intangible PR teams dream about. The rookie phenom and her trusted teammate, the embodiment of team-first energy. Trading Lexi Hull, in the eyes of Clark's handlers, wasn't just a roster move. It was a marketing risk. So, the message was delivered, quiet, professional, and direct. This trade doesn't align with the vision. And just like that, it was over. What followed was the invisible power struggle that defines modern sports. Owner Steve Simon, whose investment in the Fever had been revitalized by Clark's arrival, knew her value transcended wins and losses. Ticket sales had exploded, television ratings had shattered records, and merchandise demand had outpaced supply. She was the heartbeat of his franchise. But coach Stephanie White, an old-school tactician raised on merit and system, wanted autonomy. To her, basketball came before branding. Yet in Indiana, those lines had blurred. White wanted to adjust her lineup. Clark's team wanted stability. Simon wanted revenue. And as one insider bluntly put it, when a player boosts your profits by 50%, basketball logic stops running the show. From that moment on, something inside the Fever organization shifted. Trust between the coaching staff and upper management fractured. Locker room energy changed. The team that once prided itself on togetherness was now operating under invisible rules. Nobody said it out loud, but everyone knew. Decisions weren't made in isolation anymore. They were made with one eye on the court and the other on the Caitlyn Clark brand. For players close to Clark, her alleged intervention was seen as a sign of loyalty. She had used her voice, her influence, to protect someone she cared about. That meant something. But others saw danger in that kind of influence. "It's not about Lexie," one veteran said quietly. "It's about precedent. If one player is untouchable, what does that say about the rest of us?" Clark likely never meant for any of this to happen. She's built her career on integrity and work ethic. But perception is a powerful thing. Her silence was interpreted as strategy. Her loyalty looked like leverage. Her friendship became a symbol of her control. Through it all, Lexi Hull remained the calm at the center of the storm. No public statements, no cryptic posts, no gossip. Just work. And then, something remarkable happened. Her minutes returned. Her confidence grew. Clark began publicly praising her, calling her underrated, essential, and the spark that changes our defense. Local fan pages started trending with #KeepLexie. Broadcasters began spotlighting her hustle. Within weeks, the same player nearly traded away became a face of the Fever's resurgence. It wasn't just a basketball comeback, it was a narrative rewrite, orchestrated quietly but effectively. Whether intentional or not, Clark's influence had rewritten the script. Hull went from expendable to essential. But that's where the league started paying attention. The WNBA, built on parity and teamwork, now faced a new era, one where a single player's influence could alter front office decisions. One league executive summed it up privately: "It's not a bad problem, but it's uncharted territory." The league's infrastructure wasn't built for stars this powerful. And they are right. Caitlyn Clark's meteoric rise is rewriting the rules of the game in real time. Every appearance she makes sells out arenas. Every product tied to her image goes viral. She is the face of women's basketball, and with that status comes a kind of soft power few have ever held. When her camp speaks, even indirectly, people listen, not out of fear, but because everything she touches matters. Inside the Fever, that awareness has become policy. Every roster conversation, every marketing campaign, every public statement now runs through an unspoken filter. How will this affect Caitlyn's image? Executives call it synergy. Some call it survival.